Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 8th day of April 2026. So, I kind of have a little bit of a schedule that I want to kind of try to follow today. I want to trade first, although the markets are really not conducive to trading right now. I should still be able to get a couple of trades off because the last couple of Wednesdays, I jumped into everything else first and did the trading last, and we ran out of time to trade because I've kind of gotten into the whole thing where I'm going through the options picks for tomorrow in this session, so you guys can watch me do it and see how you should maybe be doing it. And things are changing as far as the option stuff goes, for the better, of course. But one of the pieces of code that I was just looking at, hoping it was finished, is going to look for the corners on its own, so you don't have to, when you get the option picks, you don't have to go and check all the corners to make sure that the synthetic divergence is crossing the corner of the step line. This right here. I think I figured out a way that it will be able to do that automatically for you. And like this right here on the S, that right there is a short on the S. It's a short on the S, right here, from right here at 8:15. 8:15, and where should it go? It should go to the outer band. That's where it should go. Now, does the DOM have anything? Does the DOM show anything where it should go from here? The DOM's got a number down here at 8:10.50. Right? Now, I'm just going to lock in one tick on this so we have at least one profitable trade. Alright, we'll just go with that right now. One profitable trade on the S. Now, we're only trading the S and the NQ in here right now. So I'll just keep track of that stuff on my own. The reason I was a short is because the synthetic divergence crossed through right here, crossed through the corner. Now, the thing that I have to have you guys do right now is that's not actually a cross right there. Now, if I go in here and I change this to be, where is it? This guy right here. If I change it to be an actual line, you see it's not actually a cross right there. It didn't actually cross that corner. It's an illusion that it's a cross. So what I have to do is mathematically figure out what makes it look like that and somehow calculate that for you. And that's what I've done. That is what I have done, and I haven't tested it yet, so it's it's over 1,000 lines of code, so it's in process right now. But here's another one right here. Same thing. And it's something that happens again and again and again. And right now, when you guys have the when you get the picks at the end of the day, when you get, well, I have it on another computer. I have them on over here. I don't want to click it because it's gonna log me off of this one. I guess I can. Let me just go over here and get it. I'll show you what I mean. I always feel like I'm getting in a hurry here when I get to this point. Let's see. When you get to this with the 0DTE stuff, all of these things right here, now you have to go and look at all of these and see if they actually had that cross. Like you gotta go to NCLH in here, I think. Yeah, right here you go to NCLH on a daily chart. On a daily chart with the trigger on, with synthetic divergence on and all that, and see if it had that cross down there. That's what you'd have to do right now. Alright, I'm not going to bother going through all that. That's what you'd have to do. Now you can do it right here, I guess we do. NC, this is a trade right here, by the way. NCLH on a daily chart, and see if it had the cross. It did have the cross, so that one's okay to take. Alright, but you don't know that until you actually go and look at it. So I've written code that is going to go do all that part of it for you, I hope. I think it's going to. It should. When it's all said and done, it should. Alright, so a minute ago, on the 7 range, this was the cross we were looking at right there. Okay, and so here that is right now, and actually took it on the YM instead of the ES. That's why my stop wasn't bumping. So I put it on the wrong DOM. I got to move my DOMs around. Crap. Well, we just took 10 ticks profit on the YM. That was an ES trade that I was supposed to be taking profit on right there. I guess I'll just put it down here. YM 10, and I'll put my YM DOM away. My YM DOM is where my ES DOM is supposed to be. I was wondering why my stop hadn't bumped to break even yet. I had to go 10 ticks into profit to go to break even. 10 ticks into profit on the ES. So the options discussion will be later, as you have to do something, you don't want to miss it. I am gonna, I'm gonna pepper it in, so you just have to watch the whole thing later, Wayne. But there's a lot of stuff that I got going on right now, and I want to place some trades while I can place trades while this is happening. But I'll talk about the options stuff too. Let's just go and look at a piece of the options thing over here. Let's first see if we get any more trades right now. We don't right at the moment, so let me just jump here and let's go to the go to the 0DTE. Okay, and look at that on this one right here, and then once it loads up, what I want to show you is I have regrouped all these symbols, okay, and I have them in 4 separate groups. Now the first group and the second group are the most reactive groups, and the most reactive based upon, well, I put them the most explosive, I'll call it that. All right, and they are that way. I gotta slide this down because that's not the right one. This is the one we should be looking at. See how it says TV Trade Scanner now? All right, I think version 143 is the right version. It says version 142 up there right now, but I think version 143 is the correct version. But anyway, it's got them grouped like the list number 1 and list number 2 have the more explosive ones, the ones that you're likely going to get bigger moves out of. And so it doesn't have to be with the trend, right? In group number 1 and group number 2, you can take it out when it's not with the trend as well. You're still going to get some really good trades when it's not with the trend. Some of the stuff that I was showing you guys yesterday, just checking to see, some of the stuff I was showing you guys yesterday, or that I went through yesterday, and yesterday's results, they were not with the trend. And I'm trying to think if I was in that, it was in that slideshow that I made. Right now, that slideshow was silent, but let me show you where that came from, where all that data came from. Okay, I think I stuck it out here. Let me show you where all that data came from, and then hopefully it'll make more sense to you. Here. Okay, this right here. See the TVT combo? Now that has the same list, except in here I'm using the TVT Delta, so I filter that list by things with the TVT Delta that is greater than 60. In this case, it's stuff that's greater than 60. And the list that I did today is stuff that's greater than 65. So it would narrow this list down some more. But of all these trades that you see right here, now the ones in list 1 and list 2, it doesn't matter if it's with the trend or not with the trend. It's still going to give you a great opportunity. All right, it's just they're more explosive because the spread is smaller, so you have a better entry. The delta is there for you, so you have quicker, more reactive movement, and it's what the heck did I say? Anyway, there were 4 different things that I said to you guys, but it meets all the requirements, and those are the more reactive ones. Now the ones that are in list number 3, which in this case is right here, I think, or if we look over here, this would be list number 3. Okay, the stuff in list number 3 is the stuff that's you want to be with the trend. For anything that's in list number 3, you only want to do the ones that are with the trend, and and those are the ones you can probably stay in them a little bit longer. All right, these here you go in for the quick pop, and you should get it. All right, if it's with the trend, you should get an even better one. But if you see, in here, this one doesn't have the TVT Delta on it. This is just a regular TV Trade Scanner. Remember, it used to say combo. I changed it so it says actually TV Trades or Scanner. And if you go in here, it still says the same thing over here, TV Trades or Scanner. everything in here is still the same. I just changed the name that displays up there for you so you can see it. It makes a little more sense to you. List number 4 is the stuff that you guys had added, and it's other stuff that usually has a bigger spread, or the delta's a little less reactive. That's all in list number 4. But the list number 4 still gives some great trades. I mean, the stuff that we did yesterday, I don't know how many of you guys got the information yesterday. I got it out there before 4 o'clock. But let me just go here. Yesterday it was this list right here. Right, and I put over here the list that the things came out of. I added a list number over here so you can see which ones came out of it. These guys down here on list 1 and 2, they were not with the trend. These guys. And if you look at the results from those guys that were not with the trend, 324%, 335%, 195%, 177%, they're better than the ones that were with the trend. They're just, the stuff in list number 1 and 2 is the most reactive. Okay. But you see list number 4 had target in there, and that was up 107%. So you can always buy a higher delta. Yeah, Mark. If you want to pay a little more money, then you can always buy a higher delta. You're just gonna pay more up front. Okay. And where was that? That was in the options channel. All that stuff. The stuff that I'm showing you right here is straight out of the options channel. Hang on, bring it over and show it to you. Just slide that over. Here it is. Straight out of the options channel. So the 0DT stuff was yesterday. You had to be quick on it. None of it was with the trend. And we didn't have any 0DT stuff today. But we had the regular options that I put out there. First I put out these 4 because it was 357, so I wanted to get those 4 out. And then just a couple minutes later I got the rest of them out. But you would have seen all of them if you were looking at it on this page. You would have seen all of them on there. And I just went through and pulled them all out for you. Okay? So this is how the results were. I mean, we averaged 105% gain from yesterday's results. So that's, it's pretty good. With all the calls that were in there, I wasn't sure how we were going to fare today with, if we would have started the whole bombing campaign and everything else that Trump was saying he was going to do. I had a feeling he wasn't gonna, but he did this time. I think it's going to come as a surprise when it actually does happen. I think that's going to be a surprise, but I don't want to get into politics here. I think it's just going to happen. There's not going to be a lot of talk before it does. At least that's how I play it. Now, so I wanted to show you guys the reasons I grouped them differently. Like all these things over here, they're things that are tighter spreads. Let me just go look and see what I sent to you guys. I know I had it over here somewhere, and it all made sense when I put it together. And now I've done so many things since then, I can't remember what I actually did. Alright, so let's go here. Slide that off to the side over here. And give me just a moment. Yeah, the elite picks, that's what it was called. And I did it based on the spread, the delta response, the synthetic diversion setups, and the in the regular movement that you get out of those symbols. The amount of volatility and the range that you normally get when you have a symbol like that, a signal from those symbols. So that's what made these guys in this group. And this one here, you don't get as much movement out of group number 3. So you want to make sure you're with the trend with group number 3, because you might be holding on to that one for a little bit longer. These you're usually going to get in and out of in a day. These guys here you might be holding on to a little bit longer. And group number 4 can be anything. The group number 4 is some of the things you guys asked me to put in, like Guild was one that you guys asked me to put in. And there's a couple more that show up regularly, like Hymns is another one that you guys asked me to put in. If you ever happen to get a QQQ or a Dow or anything like that in these groups, that's the overall market that you should be looking at. Okay, the overall market at that point that you should be looking at. Now, I don't know what the overall market's doing right at the moment. Right now, it's dropping right now. Okay, so that's okay. I should have been paying attention here. Just gonna take some more trades. I think I forgot to put in those last couple of trades that I did, but I'll just forget about it for right now. Oh wait, I did write it down over here. There was the YM. That's what I didn't put in. YM, and it was actually an accident that I did it anyway. It should have been an ES for 10 ticks, but it was a YM for 10 ticks. So that's a 2. That's a 0. Let's get in here and see if we can grab another one. Nope, nothing. Did I miss one or two? I've been talking. One right there. Looks like I missed just one. It's all good. Alright. Do the stocks only show up on the list if there is an entry trigger? Gordon asks. Yes. Yeah, well, here's the deal. That's what I was showing you. That's why I'm recoding this, because right here you have to look at something else on this right now. You have to look and see if it has the cross. If it has the cross, then it's okay to take. If it doesn't have the cross, then it's not okay to take. But the code that I'm writing right now, that hopefully I'll have it done by the end of the day today, it'll only put stuff up here if it does have the cross. Alright, so you won't have to go and do that part of it. So everything up here you'd be able to take if you wanted to. And what I always take, if it's up here or if it's up here and it matches down here, if they're in both places, I always put those in. Alright, because there's just a confluence of things that say it's going to go, as long as they're going in the same direction, and they will be. But that's just how I always put the list together. Like I could have 100 different things up here and only take the things that match with the ones down here. Now the criteria down here is just a little bit different than the criteria up here. Still have to have pretty much the same thing. The synthetic divergence has to be crossing into the overbought, into the oversold. And up here, well, actually, for this part, it's going to be coming out of it, going against the overall trend. And for this part, it's going toward it. Okay, so there's a little bit of confluence there. When you see it on a chart, it looks like, let me show you what it looks like on a chart. Okay, it looks like this. Alright, this right here would be selling the open of that bar right there. Okay, you see how it's separate right there? Now if you go in here and you get rid of the step line, this is what one of them is looking for. It's looking for this situation right here. Alright, and the other one is looking for it to cross the step line. Right, like this right over here on the NQ right now. This is what one of them is looking for it to cross the corner of the step line as it goes out of the overbought. So that's a short there on the NQ right now. In a minute, and it just gave me 10 ticks in profit so far. And so it just gave me 10 ticks in profit. That was a short right here. Okay. The other one is looking for this right here, because this is also a great reversal indication. So there will be times where you get both of those at the same time. Like if I put the step line back on in here right now. Here it is. If I put the step line back on in there. There will be times where you will have like the cross of the step line going. Well, it's not going to actually be that way. It can't be, because the red's going to be going against it. You won't exactly have that. It'll be pretty close, but it'll never be exactly the same, because the red's going to be going against the black. You have the cross of the black going through it, but not the red. But like this right here would be a short using the cross, and this right here would be a short. The open of that bar right there would be a short using the divergence. This right here would be a short using the divergence from right there, and this would be a short. Would that be a short using the divergence? Yeah, it would be. That wouldn't have gone anywhere. But if we just stick to the divergence that you know about, that's all programmed in, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, the divergence that you know about is when it's crossing the step line going into or out of the overbought, while the step line is within the cover or the blue area in the background. But so what you end up having is these are on different time frames. All right, that's why you'll see them in the same place. You'll have a reversal signal down here, and this is a 6 hour, and everything up here is on a daily. So you have a reversal signal on the daily, and then the 6 hour chimes in down here. That's why those work so well together. Okay, and the list combination, now you're using the same list. I've regrouped the same list for all of them, so it's using the same symbols in every list number. As a matter of fact, if this is the right one, on the bottom it's going to say, oops, not there. Gosh, on the bottom of this, yeah, down here. If it's the right one, yeah, it says 0DTE down here at the bottom. It doesn't say list 5 anymore. So, one of the questions that I got a couple days ago was one of you guys, I don't remember who it was, sorry, had to rebuild this. I'm trying to remember who had asked me to help with that the other day. But had to rebuild this. And so when you rebuild this, you just got to put a scanner on every one of these time frames. This is the 1 hour. This one right here is a 2 hour. This is a 2 hour. This is a 6 hour, and this is a daily. 1, 2, 6, and daily. And the reason I have that is because if you look at the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 6 hour, and the daily, the bars close at different times. So the 6 and the daily close at the same time. We're looking at 9:30 and 3:30 for the signals from the 6 hour and the daily. All right. And the 3:30 symbols that come from the daily, the reason you're looking for that is because usually it's going to gap at the open the next day. If you have a 0DTE, you're not going to buy the symbol for that day. You're going to buy the symbol for the next day, buy or sell the symbol for the next day, but usually there's going to be a gap at the open. Okay. That's for the 0DTE stuff. Using the SPY, QQQ, and IWM. Alright, I think I just scanned over that really quick. I should probably say that again. If after 3:30 down here you have an IWM, SPY, or QQQ, you would buy the next day's option, not the current day, the next day's option. Okay? And usually there's going to be a gap at the open. Usually. Alright? If you miss it and you don't get to trade it, then don't bother. Alright? Because at the open the next day, you might get a signal going in the opposite direction. At 9:30 in the morning, you might get a signal going in the complete opposite direction. Alright? If it gaps completely in the opposite direction, it may trigger a signal going in the opposite direction. Okay? The stuff up here, the 1 hour and the 1 hour and the 2 hour, that is so it can fall. If you miss the signals at the beginning of the day, if you miss these at 9:30, say between 9:30 and 10 o'clock, if there was a signal and you didn't take it, it's too late. But if you want to try for another one, say maybe up until 12 o'clock, if you want to try for another one, then the 1 hour and 2 hour will still give you signals. Like this is giving you a signal right now, where the other ones are not. That's because it's a 2 hour time frame. And so the 2 hour candle is closed, giving an indication, where the 1 hour candle closed did not give an indication, and these guys aren't going to close for a while. In a half an hour, these guys might give you a signal, because both of these candles close in a half an hour. Okay? I know there's a lot of words, and I'm probably confusing you guys, but ask questions if you have any, alright? I know it's a lot of stuff, and I'm doing a whole bunch of things all at once, and I hope I don't lose y'all in this while I'm doing it. And well, let me slow down. Do you guys have any questions right now? There's a long here on these. It just gave me a break even. I can show the printout in a second. I think I can. No, it almost gave me a break even. Should have given me a break even. Give me a -1 tick. See, this is what you're looking for, and that's what the code is going to be looking for too. It's going to be looking for that cross going into the oversold like that. If you got something like that, and everything else came together to give you a call option, it would recognize it and tell you it's a call. Okay, this was that trade that should have been a break even just a second ago. But it wasn't. It was a -1. So going back to 0 on the ES. I'm only doing the divergence trades in here, okay? I should have actually done this one right here a minute ago. I should have done this one a minute ago. You can see we're in a downtrend right here, so if you want to go with the trend, you're going to take the shorts right here. Okay. So are those actual trades you took based on the signal generated? Ronnie, what are you talking about? The ones that I just did right here are the options. I don't take all the option signals. No, I don't take all the option signals. I take some of them, but I don't take all of them. I'm only one man. Getting the information out to you guys takes a while, you know. I wish I took all of them yesterday. Alas, I did not. I do. I actually had to volunteer for that job. Mark. But it's a lot of work. You know, and it's a lot of detailed stuff that only I know how to do, and at some point I'll pass the torch, but it's a long way away. Alright, so, well here we are. That is the ES, right there, yeah. The ES right here, with the trend, right there was a spot to short. The open of that bar right there was a spot to short. I just shorted it from right where it is, right there. Okay, so now we're at break even. Now we're at +1 again, after I ended up moving that last one. This should make it down to the outer band here at 91.75. Down here at 92 is what it wants to get down to. See that number right there? That's where it wants to get down to. 91.75 is the outer band. 92 is the number right there. It's attracted to that number right there. Okay. Looks like this was also a trade over here on the NQ. They both had the same trade there. I didn't see the NQ one though. So I'm going to let them do their thing right now, and then we'll get back to it. So, yes, in here, now at 3:30, this is going to populate. Alright, and there's another one that is going to populate at 3:30. Let me just save this. This is the ODDTE stuff that you guys have access to, that you know about. And this one here, I just saved that. Let me save it again. And this one right here is the one that takes the TVT Delta into account. Okay, so it's going to only show things that qualify with the TVT Delta. Now, this is list 1, this is list 2, this is list 3, this is list 4. Anything in list 1 and 2 you can take. It doesn't have to be with the trend or against the trend. Anything in list 1 and 2 you can take. Right now, there's not a lot in here right now, but at 3:30, when the bar closes, these are 2-hour candles that these are working on. When the 2-hour candle closes at 3:30, you're going to see these things populate with a whole bunch of options, a whole bunch of things that you can do. So you just took a CMG put trade, Ronnie. Okay, a CMG put trade based on the 0DTE stuff that we were just looking at a second ago. This CMG put over here. Alright, well that candle's not closed yet, but still, you know, if it's still there at 3:30 when the candle does close, that's what you have to the timing of all this is important. You know, this stuff on the top is on a daily, and the stuff on the bottom is is on a 6 hour. So the stuff on the bottom, this is important on the bottom at 9:30 and at 3:30. Okay, and the stuff on the top is important at 9:30, mostly at 9:30. Now, and 3:30. Sorry, it triggers again at 3:30. It dumps out another load at 3:30. The other thing that I was just showing you here, the combo one, this works on a 2-hour time frame. So this happens right in the middle of the day. At 11:30 a.m. is when these things trigger, and they're most meaningful, at 11:30 a.m. Okay, but they'll trigger again. Not this. The 0DTE stuff will trigger again at the bottom of the hour. Okay, so there's different times of the day that everything is most meaningful, and 9:30 is one of them. You get in there at 9:30, and the 6 hour and the 12 hour stuff triggers it. The 6 hour and the daily stuff. It's called the 6 hour and the 12 hour really. Triggers at 9:30, and again at 3:30 is when the 0DT stuff. You can look at all that and pull from those lists. This one right here, 11:30 in the morning, is the best time to pull from this list. Okay. So we'll go back in here right now and see if we get any more trades. We don't have one there. That didn't actually cross right there, you see. So that's not a trade. And it looks like it's pulling back a little bit here, almost giving you a little bit of a head fake to the upside. I don't know what overall it looks like right now if I get a 30-minute. You get a big move down. So this was a 39 range. Alright. Let me stop for a second. You took the CMG put trade. Alright, so what is CMG doing right now? Let's just go here for a second. Bring up another one of these. These, and go. This one, CMG, Chicago. Yeah, that had some really good gains yesterday. The CMG did. That was one of the ones that went on at the end of the session yesterday, if I remember right. There's some of them that really usually work out really well, like Home Depot. When you get a Home Depot alert, they usually work out really well, and that's in the first list, I think. And CMG, I think that's also, it is in the first list, I'm pretty sure. So when you get a CMG, they usually work out pretty well, or Home Depot, they usually work out pretty well. Just here. So yesterday, Home Depot was up 324%, and the CMG was up 335%. And they were both calls yesterday. And I would bet they're both going to be puts today. Well, the CMG already is, but we'll see at the bottom of the hour if it stays that way. So I'm going to leave this over here. We'll fill this out in a little while. Just scrolling through here to see if there's anything I'm missing. Doesn't look like it. Alright, so back here, do we have any trades? Not a trade. That was actually a trade right there that I missed. Right, so it seems like everything's starting to trend up, so we'll be looking for long opportunities right here, if we get some. Okay, and so I guess in the Wednesday totals, where in the ES we got our one tick back. What are the ESs? ES over here. Where the heck is the ES? Oh, here it is right here. We got our one tick back on the ES. And we now have 4 trades. Did I not do an NQ trade? I felt like I did an NQ trade. Yes. What time did I do that trade? guess it was in this session. I don't know. I won't count it because I don't remember doing it. There's a little bit of profit, but I don't remember doing it. Alright. No trade, no trade. It didn't cross the blue on the way out. I missed an NQ trade. Alright, well that makes sense. Alright, let me slow down. You know, the majority of the trades seem to happen at the end of the session, in the last 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. The markets start to scramble right before the close. Okay, so now I feel like I got most of the words out that I was going to say, so let me see if I can go find. There was something that I had that was actually kind of orderly and looked fairly decent that I could share with you. Elon, are you in here? Ewan. Sorry, Ewan. Ewan is not in here. Okay. Let's keep my eyes peeled here for another trade that might be coming up. We don't have one yet. And let's go in here to this. Hopefully it opens right up. It did just open right up. A whole bunch of new stuff. Okay, David Z, are you in here? David Z is not in here. Okay. Well, this should allow me to open up the other thing that I was trying to get. Well, here's part of it. That's not breaking it out. Sorry, that's not exactly what I was looking for. Not a trade. Not a trade. Alright. Now, I try to be more organized here when I start these things with you guys. Okay, you do that under another ID. So nothing and nothing. Here. This. Here it is. So this is what I wanted to show you. So I had gone through and broken the symbols down, okay, by the different industries that they're in, like the mega cap and the index drivers, and the financials, and the energies, and the healthcare, and consumer, and industrials, communication, and then went through again and grouped them according to how well they all move and the spreads and things like that, so that we'd be able to, I mean, the idea is to get in there and get out quickly. And so the grouping of those became, hold on, I think this is how I ended up grouping them. Yeah, this is how I ended up grouping them. All these are in list 1, and all these are in list 2, and these are the guys in list 3, and there's not a lot in list 4. Alright, there is more than that in list 4 now. I did put more than that in list 4, but these all are in list 4 too. Okay, So there's some method to the madness, but I wanted you guys to see, because you see a lot of symbols are triggered, a lot of things get triggered, and you might look at it and say, all right, well, which one do I pick? 'Cause sometimes I'll have like 15 of them, and you might say, okay, well, which one out of these 15, if you're only gonna trade one, which one do I pick? I would say get the one, I don't want to say the one that you can best afford, but one that you can afford, that's got probably the highest delta without changing. Sorry, the CS is just got a trade right here, and it made it up to that number that I told you a few minutes ago, right? And there was one that was going down to a number too. The NQ actually had a trade there, right in here. It's against the trend though. We're in an uptrend, and that it had a long trade right here at the beginning of this bar, at the open of that bar. It's actually got a short trade right here that's against the trend. Alright, so let's go back in here and just put the 4 ticks on the ES. It becomes a 5. And this becomes a 5. Okay. Alright. The one that has the best setup, of course that's the one we all want. All the setups are good. You never know which one's going to be the best. Like, this right here, whenever you get this cross, this is like one of the best setups that I like. You see it right here, and it happened right here too. When the blue is between the middle and the end of the cover, is between here and here, and you get the cross. That's one of my favorite ones right there, when that happens, right here and right here. And you usually get a pretty good reversal off of that whenever that happens. And we're just looking for 1 bar reversal here. We're not looking, it doesn't have to have a complete direction change, it's just going to have enough of a direction change. So Ronnie said the one that has the best setup. I don't disagree with you, Ronnie. So this right here is with the trend on the NQ. It just crossed down right there with the trend. Right. Here's that one. It's plus 10. And it should keep going up right here, but it didn't. It should keep going up above this prior swing high. But what I think is happening right here is we're in a bigger move down. And this is the retracement leg of the bigger move down. See, it's going like this. Oops. Sorry. This is what I think is happening right here. So we just got 10 more on the NQ. NQ. 10 there. Add 1 more over here. Alright, so our average in these sessions is $421 is our average in these sessions. So we got a ways to go to get there. That 421 was from doing a lot more trading than I've been doing in the last few. I'm looking for a 330 when this is going to fill up with stuff. Right, this will fill. Well, the other one will fill up with stuff. More so, I think. This is the combo one. So let's put this back to the 0 DTE. Okay, this is going to fill up with stuff at 330. It's already got a bunch in it, but it's going to really fill up, I think, at 330 with more. And just get something on this. Yeah, okay, I just want to make sure that that's got all the right stuff in it. Alright, back here. No trade there. No trade there. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Alright, so I've kind of slowed down. The first half an hour it feels like I'm just spitting words out and trying to cover everything that's on my schedule in case we get sidetracked and I don't get everything done. But I feel like I've done a lot. I've gone through a lot of things. The grouping was a big deal. The showing you guys what it actually looks at is a big deal. Automating this part, hopefully I'll get that done today. And that's going to be a big deal getting that part done, because then you'll just be able to look at the 0DTE stuff, and everything that's up here, you'll just be able to take it. And anything that matches anything down here, you'll just be able to take it. And if it's down here in this section, I haven't put the combo out yet because I'm still finding the best use for the TVT Delta. I could give you guys a link to a TVT Delta, but you have to understand when to look at it, when it's most meaningful. There's more work I have to do on that. You are back on your first list is the same as my second column has PayPal, BSX, NC. It might not be, Wayne. When you are you going off the layout, or are you going off your list, your copy of the layout? Okay, your second one had PayPal, BSX, NCLH, Uber. Okay, yeah, then you have all the same stuff in here. It's all the same stuff. Yeah, if I know if you're going off the copy, then down at the bottom in the list, if it has 0DTE in the list, then you have the most recent one. Okay, the one before that didn't say 0DTE at the bottom. So you should be okay. Alright, so we're waiting for 10 more minutes to go by, and this is going to populate with stuff that we can go and choose options on. And then we'll go through and we'll choose the options for tomorrow. Okay, we'll do that together in a few minutes here. So let's get in here and see if we have any more trades. We don't right now, but we could. So this I expect is going to turn down, and the trend is going to turn down here too. I imagine it was doing the same thing here. Yeah, see, down, up, down. We should go down this far. Let me draw it for you. I can't draw it. There we go. It's pretty close to that. Should go down that far. Alright, and on this one, a leg like this, going to be there down to there. So this is what they should do right now. Alright, so we should be looking for shorting opportunities on both of these. That didn't quite hit the corner right there. I would have shorted right there at the open, but it didn't hit the corner. Alright, so Wayne, we're waiting 3:30, then this stuff's going to populate in here. This stuff, particularly down here, will populate with new data, and we'll go through and pick everything out, everything that we want. Because all this stuff is on a 6-hour, all this is on a daily, and the stuff in the combo thing in here is on a 2-hour. Right, so if you look here, you can see when these candles close in the 2-hour. Right here. 8. So 10 o'clock in the morning, after 10 o'clock in the morning, these are more meaningful. And 11:30 is when the combo stuff seems to have the most meaningful change at 11:30. And that was something that I wanted to go over with you. In that email, see if I can find that. This one. I think I had put a link in here. Here it is. Okay. And this, let me see if I can get it so it's just the video. Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. On this screen. Let's do it on the other screen. Okay, and here we'll do it so it's just the video. There we go. So what this is showing you is the stuff from the combo where the TVT Delta gave you the signal right here. Oops. It said it gave you a call indication here on the symbol, whatever this is, on Tesla. It was at the close of the 11:30 candle. That's why all these are going to be looking at 11:15. It's the close of the 11:30 candle. Okay, I don't know why this thing isn't moving like it should. Okay, there it is. This is Visa. This is my 8-man. These are all the signals that it gave. Okay, it's just going to go through those one by one. And you see, at the end of the day, it gapped up before the morning. You see those things that I drew in there with the gaps. But this is off the combo thing that I created that uses a TVT Delta. Alright, so if we were to go look at the ones that it gave for today, I'll do it later, we won't do it right now, but I'll make a little slideshow of that, the ones that it gave today. There weren't as many, the ones that it gave today. The ones that it gave today were, let's see, I think they're right in here. Go down to the bottom. These are the ones it gave today. Alright, at 11:30. See, this was 11:54 is when I made this screenshot, so we have to go look at all those in a little while and see how they did. But alright, that's enough about that. Slide that back over here. It is now 3:25. And this is the combo stuff. So this is going to change well, in a while. It'll change at 4 o'clock is when this stuff's going to change. But the significant change you're looking for is going to be at 11:30, roughly. Get in there at 11:30, and usually from then to the end of the day, the signals move pretty well. Alright, that is for that. Now the 0DTE stuff, this, in 5 minutes, these bottom ones should populate with fresh data, and then we'll go pick out whatever matches up with the top and do that. No, this second column right here is good. The second row of this column is what I was talking about, Wayne. Over here you have all 4 of these are 0DTE. Alright, this is a 1 hour, this is a 2 hour, this is a 6 hour, and this is a daily, I think. Just check and make sure. Yeah, 1 day. And that's 1 day, and this one here is 6 hours. 6 hours. And then this is 2 hours, and that's 1 hour. I should actually refresh all these, I think. Update the latest version. And we just updated it everywhere else too. Well, version 142, that's what I want to keep. There. Yeah, that's all the wrong stuff in there. When it updated it, it took it off the 0DTE. That was the thing that I had to show somebody today. Earlier. When it updated, it took it off the 0DTE. On all of these. So it probably did the same thing in here. This should be list 4. Okay. This should be list 3. This should be list 2. And that is list 1. Alright. The columns in 0DT, watch webinar again, and then maybe you can speak. Okay, Wayne. You don't really even need to have 1 and 2, these top columns. You just need these bottom 2 columns, the 6 hour and the 12, the 6 hour and the daily. Alright, the daily one at 9:30 in the morning is most important, and this one, 9:30 in the morning and 3:30 in the afternoon. Okay, you can get rid of these other ones if you want to. You really don't need to have those. It'd probably simplify it if I just get rid of them too. Maybe I will. I'll just get rid of them too. Alright, so now you're just dealing with this 6 hour and this one. So this one is 9:30 and 3:30, and this one is 9:30 in the morning. And I'll just save this so it's the same for all of you guys. And in about 45 seconds, we should see this bottom level fill up here. Okay, and then we'll just go pick out the ones that that match up. All right. Ding. There they are. See, the candle closes, that 6-hour candle closes at that time. So then all they have to do is go in here and say, okay, did these match up with these? And if they do, then that's the symbol you want. Right? Nothing matches up on the first one here. And on this one, well, SLB matches up here and here with that. It's looking at basically the same thing. Yeah, there's not a whole lot. PFE is against the trend on both of them, but it's in both. HPQ. There's not a lot going here for tomorrow right now. And then we're into this level. MDLZ, that's not with the trend. HAL, BMY. BMY matches up. It's with the trend down here on this one. Dow, AES, CL. Okay, so CL, AES, Dow, and BMY will all go. MDLZ will go too. It's not the greatest signal though. And over here, do we have anything that matches up? PM and PM here match up. Alright, so again, the stuff that's in these two columns right here doesn't really need to be with the trend. Because they're the more explosive ones. Alright. Now, I didn't write the code to go and see if it crosses yet, so we'll have to go and see on each one of these if we have the cross. Alright, so we can do that right here. I guess we can do it right over here. I have it over here. Let's get rid of this. And that. Alright, and we'll look at this. And inside the trigger, we'll just get rid of the div line right now. And this is a daily. So if we look at QCOM right here, QCOM. QCOM does cross, so QCOM's good. And let me just let me keep track of this. So QCOM is what is a put? 126 roughly. We don't know what it's going to be in a few minutes. Home Depot, pretty much anytime you get Home Depot in there you want to do it, but let's just see what Home Depot is. HD, that works. Home Depot, and that is a put. Right around 334. And CMG, that's one that you just did, Ronnie, a few minutes ago. So CMG is still a good one, I think. Let's just put in CMG right here. CMG. See if we got the cross. We do. So CMG is a good one, Ronnie. And that. Now on the CMG, the 30. It's a put, and it's probably going to be the 33 roughly. Right in that area put. And so these other ones, Apple, UNH, MRK, and Cost, all those will probably still be good. Alright, but right now you still have to go and check and see if they have the cross. Okay, because I didn't write that code yet. But let's just go through. I mean, I don't want to give you 100 symbols here, so let's just go through the ones that are more likely. The SLB is not in this list. NCLH, is that in both? No. Uber, is that in both? No. PayPal, is that in both? No. CMG, we already got that one. The KMI is not. And BSX is not. Okay, so we gotta look at all these individual symbols right now. So let's get NCLH and see if we have the cross. We do, so NCLH is good. And that's a put from 20, roughly. Okay, and Uber. Uber's across, so that's a put. And PayPal. That's across. There's a lot of puts tomorrow. I forgot to write down the Uber. So, roughly. I'll go back and we'll go in a minute here. I'll go to all the symbols individually and figure out what we should be looking at. And we're still looking at this Friday's today. Tomorrow and Friday we'll be looking at next Friday's expiration, but today we're still looking at this Friday's expiration. Okay, so KMI is the first call. Maybe the only call, I think. And that one, that crosses too, so KMI is good. And that's a 33, roughly. And BSX. That, if we stretch it out, just nicks it. Okay, we'll put BSX in too. That's a put 62. Now, I have HBQ and SLB. Those will both be qualified for a different reason. These guys over here, you know, we have, what do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 of them right now. Do we have any that match over here? CL matches. We'll put CL in there. That is a put. And that is at 85. And do we have Dow that matched in there? Dow did not match. Hal. Oh, we had Hal in both of them. Nope. We have this, but it's not with the trend. The stuff that's from this row over, you want to make sure it's with the trend. Okay? And then it matches. So in here we just have, we don't have anything that matches. That's it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 for tomorrow. That's plenty. Now, that does not match. This is the link right here. Okay, let me copy it. Let me save it. This is the link, Wayne. Well, I'm going to put this out here for all of you. Okay, that's out there for all of you now. Okay, so now we have the symbols. We have the direction. So now we're going to go find out the prices. Okay, so let me log into that account that I have no money in, just so we can mess with it in here and figure stuff out. Alright, here it is. So now we'll start out with the KMI because that was the only call. Alright, that was the only call. And we're still looking at Friday's expiration. Okay, so right here it's giving us the 33 call. It's got a 51 for the Delta, so that's okay. We can go with that. So what I give you is the last right here. I give you the last. That's the last one that traded at. It might be, this is a pretty good spread. It's not a bad spread right here. But actually it's not that good of a spread. It's a 5-tick spread for a 35-cent stock. 35-cent option. But anyway, I give you the last, what the last trade is. It's not going to be the best trade. It's not the middle. It's not the high, the low, or anything like that. It's just the last trade is what I give you. Okay, so the last was 0.31. And the delta is 52. Okay, oops, wrote that in the wrong place. 0.31, and the delta is 52. Right. And now we'll go to QCOM. That's the next one. So all the rest of them are puts. Right, so QCOM was the next one. And QCOM is a put. And it's, well, let's look at the delta on that. See, the delta's only 41, so you're not going to do the 126. The 127, the delta's 51 now. So what I would do here, look at the volume right here. The volume's 88. That's pretty good. Okay, the open interest is pretty good. So this one is going to be a 127 put. 127 put. And what was that last one? I'm going to go back to that last one. This is 127 put, and the last on that is 185. 185, and the delta is 51.72. Okay, now what was the KMI one? KMI, Captain Morgan, and that was the call, and that was the 33 call, right? Yeah, okay. And so now we'll go down to the HD. Now the HDs usually work out really well. Okay, for those of you guys who are interested in trading things. You know, if you have, what you guys are probably going to find over time is you're going to find one or two of these symbols that you really get comfortable with. See, the delta on this one is only 48, so we're going to change that to a 357.5. Now our delta is 60. Okay, plenty of volume. Not much open interest, but there's plenty of volume on this. So that's probably half the reason why the HT works or moves so responsively. So we're going to do the 337.50. 337.50 put, and that is last is 5, and the delta is 60.11. Okay, so CMG, we already got that one, right, Ronnie? You already bought that one, and that is a put, and the delta on this is 37, so we're not going to use that one. Go up one more. There we go. The 34 put. CMG 34 put. The last on that is 49. And the delta is 53.55. And it's got plenty of volume. And the next one is NCLH. NCLH. Regent Cruise Line. That one comes up a lot. That's going to be a put. It's got a 44. We'll go up to 2050. That's 64. It's got plenty of volume. Okay, so the NCLH is a 2050 put. 2050. And last on that is 0.75. And the delta is 64.95. Got some high deltas this time so far. I can't read what I wrote in that one. It's going to be in here. Uber, that's what that says. Okay. Go back here. Uber. And Uber, it's going to be a put. And let's see what the delta is. Nope, we're going to want a little bit more on that. 73. So Uber is going to be a 73 put. And the last on that's 137. And the delta is 62.92. Now I gotta go through these in a minute here and write down the list number because I've been trying to keep track of that for you guys too. Next one is PayPal, PYPL. For the most part it's list 1 and 2, so that part's not that important. Let's see what the delta is there. That's going to be a 46, I think. Yep. 46. The Uber was a 72, right? CMG, HEI, KMI, and NCLH, and that's all. Those should all be good, Ronnie. 46 put there, and the delta, the last on that is 78.78. And the delta's 45.24. Okay. Next one is BSX. That is a put. And let's see what the delta is on that. That's not going to work either. 63. The last is 166. And delta on that 64.27. I did something wrong on the last one on PayPal. PYPL. Because the delta was wrong. It's going to be a put. Show full quote. I go to 46 on that. PayPal was 46. It was 0.78. 45. Oh, BSX is what I didn't do right. The 54.94 is the delta. 54.94. I didn't write that down right. Okay, do BSX again. BSX. You see what I do for you guys? And got 63 on that. 65, it's pretty close. 166, that's pretty close. No volume on the BSX. Good open interest, but no volume. And just cross the BSX off. Just take that one off. And CL is the last one, Colgate. Put, show full quote. We're going to have to get away from there. Wow. No volume on the Colgate either. Just cross those last two off. Alright. So that's my list. Now, we've got to stick it in something that I can put out to you guys. So let me do that over here. It's just easier if I do it over here on this other screen. Okay, just give me a second, and I will create all that information. Just shove it out there for you guys. And these are going to be from here over to here. Copy that. Oops. Paste that. And so the symbols are cap lock QCOM. Oops, wait. It's not QCOM first. It's KMI first. KMI, QCOM, then HD, then CMG, then NCLH, then Uber, then PYPL. Okay, so yesterday, no, it wasn't yesterday. Let me just get rid of that stuff. And so we're looking for KMI is going to be the only call. It's a 33 call. And then a 127 put. And a 337.5 put. And a 34 put. And a 2050 put. And a 73 put. 46 put. Race down to the bottom of that. Okay, and the price is 0.31, 0.85, 0.75, 1.37, 0.78. Deltas. I'm almost done. 52, 51.72, 60.11. 53.55, 64.95, two more, right? 62.92, and 54.84. Okay, and these are picks for 4.9. Right? Alright guys, that's it. So now I do this and I stick it out there in the channel for you, and you guys can do what you want with it. Alright, and then give me just a minute here. What time is it? 3:49. Look at that, we got 11 minutes today. 11 minutes. Plenty of time for you guys to go make trades. Paste. That is not what I wanted to paste, is it? It is, I just got the colors wrong in it. Well, I'll send it right now. So you guys have it. Those are the picks for 4-9. So if you guys want to go make your picks on that, I'm going to bring them back over here for a second, and I'm going to place a couple of trades really quick. Hang on. So you guys are probably wondering which ones I'm going to trade. Home Depot, NCLH, and Uber are the ones I'm going to do right now. Okay. And sadly, there's a huge spread right now on Home Depot. Yeah. $337.50. It's actually better than it was a minute ago, but. Okay. That's ugly there too. I'm just gonna go for it. Okay. And tip over. Sorry, I'll get back to that in a minute. Alright, and I want to get back in. I have 9 minutes left to trade too, so we'll get back to that too. And the Uber. The Uber spread's pretty good. We gotta go to 73 on that though. Okay. Alright. I just did everything right at the ask. Now, let's get in there and see if we can place some more trades. Make a little bit more money, hopefully. And have a successful setup for tomorrow. Alright, Michael. If you wanted to create a list of 20 that you only want to trade and put your algo against it, is this possible? It is. It is. There's originally, Michael, when I created this thing originally, I had it so that you would input the symbols. Then I realized that there's no way I was going to be able to create any kind of historic results, show any kind of patterns or anything like that, doing it that way. So I hard-coded the symbols. But I could hard code a list of symbols in there. You know, that's okay. It's all good. Wait. Alright, so we have a few minutes left here to try to place some more trades. We're in an uptrend right now, so I'm going to be looking for long opportunities if we can get some. I don't know where we are in this session so far. We're up $1,625 so far in this session. Not the average, not even half the average, but I'll do that. If they don't have any volume, then you don't want to You don't want to trade them. Okay. 50% profit buyback. Okay. That I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. Is it a short on the S? I'm sorry, I was looking over here. No, the S isn't a short. It's going to cross the blue inside the cover. Mark. It's going to cross it inside. Like this, or this, or this. What I really like is when it does it like this, right here. And that's the way I'm programming it. Where do you see the picks? In the TV Trades Options channel is where I put the picks every day. Right here. If you don't have access to the TV Trade, everybody who is subscribed, Peter, everybody who's subscribed gets to see the TV Trades Options channel. If you're not subscribed, I stick them out here in this channel. Everybody who's not subscribed gets to see these, but it's after the fact. Right, these are the picks from yesterday. They're up 105% average, the ones from yesterday. And these are the ones from today, but they go out in the TV Trades Options channel. Okay. I'm trying to grab this thing so I can spread it out. I just can't do it. Alright, did we have another trade here? Crap. I can't find my... I got distracted trying to do something else. Really need to try to focus. There we go, now I can spread it out. Yes, Peter. So you ought to be able to get in there and see the picks. You have you know how to access the options channel, right, Peter? Okay. I think you had this long trade from back here a minute ago. It just gave me 10 ticks. I have things open in too many places right now. I just lost my NQ dome. I think it's way over there. Hang on. There it is. So that was 10 more ticks on the NQ. Let's have it 20. 7 trades. So now we're about halfway to where we normally are. I wanted to get more trading in today, and it turns out I just didn't. What we're looking for, Mark, you want to see it cross like this right here, where it crosses the blue and the blue is still inside the cover. That's what you want to see. Right, that's what made this a long trade here a minute ago. Okay. So I'll probably repost those pics without having the different color down here, because the ones that are in there today, they're all with the trend. Everything was with the trend today. The ones that I posted yesterday were not necessarily with the trend. Okay, half of them weren't with the trend. As a matter of fact, the ones that weren't with the trend, they were from the first column yesterday. I didn't put that stuff in there today either. I gotta put that into what column they came from. But all these came from columns 1 and 2. I think we might have had one from column 3 today. And it's 3:58. I don't know if we're gonna have another trade here, guys. We only have a couple of minutes left. Alright. You know what I didn't do? I didn't do this part. If you haven't taken a free trial with us and you want to take a free trial, go here to tv-trades.ai. Go there. Next week, if you want to sign up for next week's webinar, you can go here. If you sign up for this one, you'll automatically get signed up for next week's. But if you're not signed up for next week's and you want to sign up for next week's, go here to targetviewtrades.com and click on this link right here to sign up for next week's. Okay. Again, if you want to take the free trial and you haven't, go to tvtrades.ai and sign up for the free trial here. So you just click on that, bring it down to the bottom. It's $25 a week, $90 a month, and $9.97 a year. If you are already subscribed and you want to switch to the annual, and you do it today, send me an email at support@targetviewtrades.com. Send me an email at support@targetviewtrades.com, or you can send me a message in Telegram, and I'll prorate whatever you got going and sign you up with a discount for $8.97 a year. Okay, I'll give you the discount to $8.97. I give you $100 off. Usually, and that could end up being a big deal if you're on the weekly and you go to the $8.97. That like cuts that weekly almost in half. Anyway, let's get back in here and see if we have any more trades. There. I'm trying to put it on. There we go. We didn't have one on the NQ, but we did have one on the ES, and the ES is starting to run a little bit. I'm just going to take one tick on that. I should have taken 4 ticks. That was this ES right back here. Alright, it gave me 1 tick. So that goes to a 6, and this goes to an 8. So somehow I managed to get 8 trades off. This NQ is a trade here too. Now, earlier today, at the last minute, I placed an NQ trade, and it wiped out all the gains that I had in that 16-minute session that I was in. So I'm tempted to not take this NQ trade right now, because I don't want to wipe out the gains that I have in the limited amount of time that I traded in this session. So I'm going to leave it alone. Is that the market trend or the stock trend of the individual stock? It's the individual stock, Mark, and you can see it when you look at this. This, yeah. If it's colored all the way across, that means it's with the trend. Like it's red, the trend is down, that means the trend is down. It says right here, trend is down, and it's a put in a downtrend, a call in an uptrend. Okay, in the new thing, I have more columns that you can look at in here with more information in this one. And I have it so you can actually go in there and filter out those columns too, down here at the bottom. On this side, you can go down here at the bottom and choose which columns you want to see. Like I have the time in here, time frame, the trend, the delta, the price, the signal, the meta, all that. If you don't want that much information, you can just take it all off like that and say okay, and it'll take that stuff off of there. Okay, gives you less information. Well, it's rebuilding it right now, but it will once it's done. It'll show less information up there. Okay. Yeah, these things have a lot of code that they run through, and they got to run through it. Well, however many symbols there are in there, they got to run through it. See, it just shrunk all that up. That was what I was trying to do, make it so you could shrink it up if you wanted to. But if you don't want all that information, then you can choose what you want to see. Alright. Okay, well, it's time, guys. I've run over a little bit. I'm gonna stop trading. There was a trade right here on the NQ. That was against the trend. There was a trade right here that ended up going okay. That was one I said I didn't want to do. There's a trade right here that's against the trend on the S. And both those that were against the trend worked out enough to get the stop to break even, but I'm not going to trade anymore. We're just going to wrap this up with the Wednesday totals. We took 8 trades with 0 stops. We're up $225 per contract to $2,250 with 10 contracts. 20 ticks on the NQ, 10 ticks on the YM, 6 ticks on the ES. And that's how we wrapped up for today. So on the average in here, we're making about $422 per contract on the average in these Wednesday sessions today and the last couple here. We got below the average. We bring that average down. But again, if you haven't taken a free trial, go to tv-trades.ai. Sign up for the trial there. If you're already subscribed and you want to switch to the annual, I'll give you a discount on the annual if you want to do that today. I'll give you a discount down to $8.97 a year, and you save a bunch of money on that. It's $300 It $9.97 a year, and it's $400 and that you save at $8.97, and that's over the $25 a week. All right. Anyway, I hope you all have a great afternoon. What time is it? Have I ever used E-Trade for trading? I have used E-Trade for trading options, Paul. As a matter of fact, I have an account there. And they give a lot of information. Their interface is pretty nice, actually, Paul, at E-Trade. E-Trade, Webull, TradeStation, Schwab, of course, Thinkorswim. You say, well, if you're not Canadian, Bob Z says. Well, I didn't tell you to live out there. It's a family thing, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up, guys. I'm going to wrap the recording part anyway right here. Again, if you haven't taken a free trial, go to tv-trades.ai. I always forget about that until the end. But anyway, whatever. I think you're all on trial anyway. I mean, you're all subscribed anyway. That's it. I'm going to wrap up the recording.